Hey guys, it's Bert, and in this video we're going to be doing a unboxing for some Black Series figures and a vehicle. So a little story up front is the first vehicle I distinctly remember seeing outside of like the X-Wing for Star Wars and the Millennium Falcon was the Snowspeeder. And I really thought the Snowspeeder was probably one of the coolest vehicles when I first saw it from all the vehicles I've seen in Star Wars. So this vehicle has a special place in my heart as far as Star Wars goes. Now it's really an airspeeder, and it's an airspeeder that was stolen essentially. The Empire wasn't aware of the rebels and how they were acquiring the snow or the airspeeder, and the way it would happen is an agent for the rebellion would pay a contact for the company, and then mysteriously these airspeeders would be loaded up into some cargo somewhere and then just end up quote unquote stolen. So pretty interesting story. I think it's pretty awesome, but you know, you gotta have a good story for a good vehicle, right? So there's that. Anyway, in this video we're going to be doing Luke Skywalker, because Luke Skywalker doesn't come in the set with the Snowspeeder. The only figure that comes with the set is Dak Ralter. So if you wanted to have, you know, the full crew, you have to buy Luke Skywalker. So we're going to do the Luke Skywalker Snowspeeder from the Black Series, and then we'll do the actual Snowspeeder with Dak Ralter. Let's get started. Alright, so here we go. We've got the Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back Luke Skywalker Snowspeeder. And up front on the box we have the clear window for the package, which shows you the figure with his lightsaber. And then of course obviously we have the Star Wars logo, Black Series. The Black Series is done by Hasbro, for anybody that doesn't know. On the side we have a picture of Luke Skywalker with his flight suit and his helmet, and you can see his lightsaber right there. So I think it's very cool how it's at an angle. So instead of just having a regular square box, the Black Series figures have this angled display panel on the side. On the back we have a brief little description. It's in multiple languages. It says, Star Wars The Black Series, Luke Skywalker, Snowspeeder. During the Battle of Hoth, Luke Skywalker led the rebel defense against the Empire's ground forces, including massive AT-AT walkers, giving the Alliance time to evacuate the planet. And then on the other side, it's a side view of the actual figure. And then on the bottom, it's just a whole bunch of trademark information. And on the top, the tab and all that. And then, of course, this corner is damaged on my box, but not a huge deal. I do like to keep the boxes, so I don't really like tear them apart and get into the actual figure. That way I usually try to be as gentle as possible when opening these up. It looks like we got some taped down tabs. I'm guessing that the best way to get into this is probably maybe the top. Yeah, we'll go for the top. I was actually kind of surprised that the Luke Skywalker figure wasn't the one that came with the Snowspeeder, but I guess it kind of makes sense, because how else would you justify having Dak as a or a figure? So I guess I get it, but you could have just upped the price on the Snowspeeder and put Luke in there as well, and made it like maybe an exclusive set or something. I don't know. I just feel like maybe it could have been a little bit better. So we've got the figure pulled out. Pretty standard stuff here. Nothing fancy. Not a whole bunch of different components for Luke Skywalker. Got his lightsaber here. Pretty decent stuff. A little bit bent. There we go. Pretty standard stuff. It's got a little loop on it so you can hook it up to his belt. Oh, how to take this guy out without decimating the packaging. There we go. Alright, we didn't do too bad. Alright, let's go. So, here we go. We have our Black Series Luke Skywalker Snowspeeder variant. And right off the bat, the level of detail is what you'd expect from a Black Series figure. The posability is generally the same with all of their models. You know, the wrists articulate, the elbow joints bend. There's a nice stiffness to it. They click a little bit so you can set the arms in specific positions. So about standard as far as the Black Series goes. Definitely love the details, especially down here on the boots where you can see the straps wrapped over the boot to help keep it in place. And I feel like that's pretty awesome right there. Initially, it doesn't look like there's any misprinting or anything like that, so that's good. I like the details on the helmet, how you can see it's kind of worn down in certain spots. It's not a fresh helmet. Yeah, not bad. Pretty standard character. Let's get his lightsaber in there. Come on. There we go. He doesn't want to stand on my cardboard, but yeah, there you go. Pretty awesome. Love the details. Love the figure. Let's go ahead and get his Snowspeeder unpacked and get Dak Rowter out here to help him out. Alright, so we have the Airspeeder here. I keep wanting to call it a Snowspeeder, but the Snowspeeder is actually a modification of the Airspeeder. But on the front here, we have obviously the Black Series labeling done by Hasbro, and this is the 40th year anniversary of the Empire Strikes Back version of the Snowspeeder. So love the box art. Very simple. I like the kind of just the black and gray scale free image for the Snowspeeder right here. And then of course we got a nice image of Dak Rowter in front of the Snowspeeder, and then just the Snowspeeder itself. Moving on to the top of the box, Star Wars, the Black Series labeling, and a side shot of the Snowspeeder. Pretty standard stuff. Let's go to the left side. there you have the same type of art style for the Snowspeeder on the front. You now have that for Dak Ralter on the side. Going over to the right side of the box, we have the nice red contrast to the black packaging. Really sets off the box, makes you take notice of it. On the bottom, it's going to be your standard copyright information. All your trademarks, copyrights, kind of like your outline of assembly requirements. And then on the back we have our breakdown of the specifics that we get with the Airspeeder. So I'll read the little information. So it says the Snowspeeder. While stationed on Hoth, the Rebel Alliance modified T-47 Airspeeders to become Snowspeeders. The Snowspeeder was a two-man vessel with a pilot and rear-facing tail gunner. Dak Ralter, an eager young Rebel pilot assigned to Hoth Echo Base. Dak served as Luke Skywalker's tail gunner during the Battle of Hoth, but was killed by Imperial fire that struck the back of the Snowspeeder. Very interesting little descriptions there. You can obviously find more about the T-47 Airspeeder from the Star Wars Galaxy on the Wikipedia. I definitely recommend it. It's an interesting read, especially on how the Rebellion acquired the Airspeeder. And it wasn't just used on Hoth, it was used for multiple different roles on different planets. It was really sought after for security forces, police, stuff like that. So really, if the way you want to kind of look at it, it would be like a police squad car, essentially, is the way that most people use it, but it's also in civilian variants as well. Anyway, moving on, we have a nice view of the rear of the Snowspeeder, and it says 2 crew cockpit, harpoon and tow cable, so you get your little tow cable and the harpoon launcher on the back. And then of course we got some more views of the rear gunners area on the Snowspeeder. It just tells you that the landing gear is retractable. Nice nice pose for Dak there. And then of course we have the air brakes that are open, and the some don't mind my cat coming in to check out the figures, but you can see that there's a panel underneath where the engine and the gun mounting is that shows you some of the interior of the actual Snowspeeder itself. So let's go ahead and get into opening this bad boy up. Alright, there we go. Nothing too fancy with the packaging. We can see that we have some tabs over here to secure the vehicle in place, as well as tabs over the engine. We have our figure here, which honestly, I think if you were going to make a figure, you could at least put it in the Black Series packaging, the standard figure boxes, and then put them in here. I feel like that would be pretty cool, especially if this is the only way that you can get Dak. But you can only fit so much in a box, right? And you got to keep the box relatively well sized, so it's not too bulky. I don't want to get too into this and start tearing stuff apart, so we'll just go ahead and cut some tape here. tabs are held in place by some cardboard tabs on the back. I don't think I need to cut any of the tape up here on the front end. Let's see if I can't just pull this out. Cut this out first. Get to that in a second. Oh, got some more. So these components, right, like DAC and the actual blasters are held on by just your standard little plastic securing features like you'd see on, like, for tags for clothing. Alright, so we got our cannons right here. Pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and see if we can't pull this back. Go ahead and put this off to the side for right now. Right out the bat, the first thing that you're going to notice is that it is fairly large. Yeah, so the vehicle is definitely relatively large, but it has to fit in 2 of the Black Series figures, so it makes sense that, you know, the size. Cat's over here messing with the boxes. I don't know, you know, typical cat stuff, I guess. So there we go, we got our DAC. I'm assuming that his helmet is in here somewhere. But there we go. Pretty similar to the Luke Skywalker. As a matter of fact, I would say that the body is almost a 100% copy of the Luke Skywalker Black Series Snowspeeder version. Maybe there's some subtle differences. I guess right here on the belt is different. Luke has a belt that'll accommodate his lightsaber. Dak just has a standard belt, so you can see it side by side. Yeah, the belt's a little bit different, plus there's a hook right there for the lightsaber. So, but other than that, very similar, probably the same mold almost. Pretty awesome. Got the crew for our Snowspeeder squared away. Let's go ahead and move some of this plastic. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out what's inside the bag. Didn't even cut it, just freaking popped the tape, that's it. Interesting. Alright, so it looks like right off the bat we do have a accessory packet. It's got all your engine pieces, and it looks like a helmet, some type of weapon. Alright, so there's the panel. We got our harpoon gun, the little harpoon cannon. And then we've got our engine cover, so the panel goes down and then you put this over the top of it. Get my handy dandy knife out again. Alright, so it looks like we have some type of the little cannon that Luke used, I guess, to blast open the bottom of the, well, I don't know. No, this is the grapple gun. That's right. My bad. Should have known, right? Yeah, this is the grapple cannon that Luke uses to shoot a grapple up onto the AT-AT, and then it pulls him up there. And then, of course, you got these little grenades. Oh, man down. We got these little detonators right here. They look like little grenades. I'm sure there's a little spot in there for all this stuff. And then last, we have Dak's helmet. Go ahead and put this on him. Here we go. So, very cool. Dak's helmet's a little bit more plain than Luke's helmet is, but other than that, not too bad. Pretty cool that you can take his helmet on and off. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual vehicle itself. So, just starting off, you can tell that it's stripped obviously to fit in the box. The cannons will go up here to snap in place on these little tabs that are on the front. They also have a little cutout slot right here to help hold it in place. And then over here we have a tab in the front and a tab in the back, as well as where the panel sits. And it looks like the panel is where you slide it into the two grooves on either side right here, and then just push it down, and then obviously the engine piece goes over the top of that to secure it in place. And then last we have the harpoon gun, the harpoon cannon, which just snaps right back here. Moving on into the interior. Come on. It's kind of hard to open this when you got a camera right in your face, right? Alright, let's go. Put some Mike Alpha November on it. Oh, alright. We're gonna have to do a cut, you know what I mean? Oh man. I don't want to like force it open and break it, so that's why I'm not like just trying to pull it open as vigorously as possible. Come on. There we go. Alright, so now that we finally have it open, we can kind of see the level of detail on the inside. We have the harnesses to hold the figures in place, and you just pull up on these harnesses and it opens up the harness itself. And then when you want to secure your figures in there, you just push them back down, snap it in place. You can see on the sides here, I'll pull this up a little bit closer, but if you look right here and on the other side right here, that we have little places for their grenades. click in there, so you don't have to worry about them just falling right out. And then on the back here, down here, I don't know if you can see that, there's a spot for the grapple gun. Very awesome. So we can see that all the items, the loose items, secure very well. And then the level of detail that we get, you can see the control panel back here, as well as the handles for opening up the canopy, control panels along the sides, and then looking at the front here, we have our pilot's readouts, all the displays in the front, and then the two joysticks for flying the actual vehicle. So let's go ahead and assemble this and put our figures in there, and then we'll do a little wrap up as it is. So we'll start by putting the panel over here. So if you wanted to, obviously you could display this with the panel open. I'm not, because if I'm going to leave this out, I don't want a whole bunch of dust to build up inside there. And then just figure this out. We got this. What is happening? I swear I'm not dense. I promise I'm not dense. Give me Legos, I can figure it out. There we go. Alright, so there we go. We got our panel in place and we got the engine over the top of that. Let's go ahead and secure these cannons onto the body here. Make sure I've got this on the right one. I believe I do. Maybe not. There we go. Doesn't look like it snaps on. It's just kind of held in place by friction. Alright, so there it is. We've got our cannons on, we got the panel on. Then once you've got all these in place and you put the harpoon launcher on, all you got to do is pull the cable out and it pops right onto the side. And you can see that right here from the back. The cable goes in there, plugs onto the harpoon launcher right there. And then let's go ahead and put our figures in here. Is there a place for Luke's lightsaber in there? Guess maybe not. Huh. I'm not going to put my head too far into the shot there. Let's go ahead, get our Luke Skywalker figure in here. Go. Alright, so that was kind of a tight fit. It'll be interesting getting Dak in there. It's alright, Dak. Try not to get you shot this time. Honestly, I would not want to be the guy in the back of this thing, because if you think about it, right, if maybe say there was a TIE fighter behind you in an airspeeder, and the airspeeder is limited in how it can maneuver, so it would be interesting to see, you know, how a airspeeder would hold up against a TIE fighter. Probably, I would assume that the TIE fighter is going to own the Snowspeeder, but, you know, who knows? I'm sure you could get some interesting freaking takedowns with a harpoon launcher on a TIE fighter. That would be something to see, wouldn't it? Alright, so now we got our crew inside the airspeeder. You can see them sitting in there. Very cool. Go ahead and close up the canopy. Wow, there it is, folks. There's the T-47 Airspeeder Snowspeeder variant. Oh, and I forgot to show y'all that these air brakes, they do definitely come up. Snap in place. This is how the airspeeder is able to maneuver very well. It's got the ability to pop open these essentially air brakes, air tabs. They're just foils that cause air resistance, causing the vehicle to turn right or left or slow down. The ones on the back don't open up, but the landing gear does open. There we go. Whoops. Whoops. Note to self, don't open up the landing gear doors too far. Alright, so you can see on the landing gear, this one just kind of swings out, but on these, try to get better light for y'all, on the landing gear down here, on the either side, the landing gear is actually attached to the door itself, so you have to open the small doors to the inside first, and then you open up the landing gear last. And then we have these flaps in the back to cause air resistance. They move one click up or down, and then looks like we got some little doorway right here. Oh, alright, so this is where you would pull all the cable in and put it in there. And honestly, that's kind of disappointing. I would have rather seen like maybe a dial in here that you can wind up the cable with, but for this you just pull all the slack into this compartment, and that's where you store the excess cable. Pretty awesome. Definitely one of my top 5 favorite vehicles of all time for the Star Wars universe. Anyway, this has been Bert, and we did a Black Series Luke Skywalker Snowspeeder unboxing, as well as a Black Series T-47 Airspeeder unboxing that came with Dak Ralter. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that it helped you kind of make a decision, maybe if you were looking into buying it, or if you just wanted to check it out and see what it looks like. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know how I'm doing. Maybe there's something I need to improve on. Feel free to let me know in the comments section. But as always, I hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you on my next video.